Hello all and welcome back to another video on this channel. Today it is round 3 of this F1 2015 McLaren career mode. We are here for China this weekend, and to start off the weekend I thought I'd get myself immersed within the Chinese culture. So I thought I'd start off this video with a bit of a musical number. So have a watch of this.
Do you see me? Do you think I'm pretty good at defeating rival tribes? And I say yes, what am I teaching? Oh, I think I am first ever Chinese leader. Country has found itself a Tokiza. There has never been such a family succeeder. I'm the greatest leader, all agreed, yes.
You may never see that, as that might get taken down for copyright, and I'll have to edit out. But anyway, off that and on to our our first run in Q3. We're coming up to the end of the lap. Those here coming through the final couple of corners, B12 so far. We are yet to set lap time through the final corner though, getting a nice run throughs there. We now open up DRS here. As we run towards the line, that's going to be a 1 minute 41.0, and that will be good enough to get us into Q2, 8th place in the end there. The Mercedes one's doing Q1, nothing really surprising there, yes, but yeah, we're into Q2. Now moving on to the end of our first run in Q2, and I'd just like to highlight this because to show how slow this McLaren Honda engine is, because Venice Marcus Ericsson in a Sauber has just absolutely obliterated us down the straight. We both had DRS. He had the advantage of slipstream, yes, but he still shouldn't be outpacing us by that much. But now off that and here into the final corner, getting a nice line. Running a bit wide there, but now on the run up to the line, it is slightly slower than our Q1 time, and it's a second slower than Marcus Ericsson's lot there. So we have to go out again here for in Q2. I'm still in the session, a minute 35 to go. You currently sit in P10, so we actually might be good enough, but I don't think it will be, as we now start our lap here on the run down into this snaky part of turn 1, 2 and 3, going slightly wide there. Now carrying a bit of overspeed, that might get us a better lie into turn 2. Now we run down into turn 3 here. Maybe looking to get a good exit off this kind of corner. I don't know if this is really a corner though. And that one, turn 3 is, I don't know if that's a corner. This probably isn't, but anyway, we move on to the end of the lap here. We drop down to P12 in this session, but we need to find some time. This is the only lap we'll get here at the end. Down to 13th there, running slightly wide at the hairpin though, so that may cost us. There's two Finns behind us in Raikkonen and Bottas, but now coming through the final corner of the session as well. The checkered flag is out. Where will we end up in this session? We cross the line, we improve, but not enough to get any positions, and so we will start P13 for tomorrow's race. But a big shock here, you could say. Lewis Hamilton out in Q2, 11th place there. Also Ricciardo and Gafia both out, and both Red Bull just not having no pace. So yeah, Lewis Hamilton out. It's going to take a big blow to. He's already had a poor weekend on Australia, so that might take a big blow to Championship's hopes off.
Drivers have a few minutes before the race event starts. Welcome to the Shanghai International Circuit for the Chinese Grand Prix. After yesterday's qualifying session, it's Nico Rosberg who's put himself in the driving seat for the race, securing pole position with a thumping lap when it mattered.
He'll want to stay out of trouble over the first few laps, but he'll be determined not to let any cars past him. If he can maintain that position once everything's settled down. But
anyway, join us on the grid for the Chinese Grand Prix. It is going to be a 3-stop race, though. The strategy to the tests is I'm not going to go for that. I'm going to go for a 2-stop. There, we're going to use starting options to go for 2 sets of primes here, and yeah, we'll hopefully get to the end on the 2-stop. Because it says if I start on the primes, I can do the 2. Don't know why it doesn't say for the options I can do this 2 as well, but hey ho, I guess that's F1 2015 for you there. As we now go to 5 red lights here for the Chinese Grand Prix, round 3 of this season. It's lights out and away we go. It's an okay start there for us, actually a good one, as it's already started to rain though. I wasn't expecting that. As Felipe Nasser though tries to cover us off into turn 1, we're going to go round the outside of the Brazilian. Potentially a little bit of spray kicked up there. I don't think he was. I think that was just smoke from a locket. It was actually going round the outside of Lewis Hamilton. Bet you didn't think you'd see that this season. Now at the inside, we've actually gained the position on Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes, but then he'll use his Mercedes VTEC warp against our McLaren Honda engine to probably just go swiftly back up the inside of us. Yep. just a bit late on the brakes than I was. We're trying to look for a move around the outside of Maldonado. Hamilton gets it the inside. We can't get through past Maldonado. There's the Sergio Perez trying to go around the outside of us here. We're going to hold our line though through this it's like little section. Perez on the inside though. Can we just basically hold him off for now? Yes, we can. So we're going to go down the inside now on past Maldonado, and that is us up into P11. There's it. Well, tries to go around the outside. Can't get the move. Don't actually lose a few positions trying to defend it. Now moving on to that big back straight, and Sergio Perez, well, it's just quite rightfully just going to absolutely warp us down this back straight with that Mercedes engine and his forcing there. Maybe, hopefully, we get him back in the brakes, and we brake a lot later than him. So maybe, just maybe, we can actually get the move done round the outside here of the Mexican driver. Yet we're going to maybe push him out a little bit wider to try to get our line. But through the final corner, can we hold off this position? Yes, we can. We also do club out the bollard though. Moving on later on into lap 2 here. Go slightly wide there. That Malo Sergio Perez a run on us. Yes, it does. He actually makes a bit of contact there. Will Manging there. As we now can we get back to position? He runs wide through this S section. Yes, we can. We are back up into P11 here. Now moving on to that big back straight of turn into turn 14. I think it is as Sergio Perez just again. Well, just warps us again in that Mercedes engine in the back of that force engine. This time we brake even later though, potentially try get the move on him, but we run wide and Sergio Perez just about holds off. There's now we move on to lap 4 though. We can try go around the outside of Romain Grosjean here, and yes, we can make the move. Sergio just jolts to the right there, almost. Well, it only takes it out there. So, we actually make a bit of contact there, like cling on to the back of him because it's a stupid contact model. But we're up into P11 there, overtaking it with Romain Grosjean. Now cutting on to lap 5, the rain is getting slightly heavier here. It may be time for the intermediate tyres soon. There's now a few cars have already made their stops in this race. I don't think that's for intermediate tyres. We're going to try to go around the outside of Sergio Perez there into turn 1 and 2. Then suddenly we're actually going to go around the outside of Carlos Sainz and Mark Ericsson. And what a move that is! 3 positions in the space of 2 corners. How about that? And up into P5 in this race. Now moving on to the end of lap 5, and Sergio Perez is looking to try get us in this race, and well, with the RS and a Mercedes engine, I mean, he is literally nearly fucked off there. If the guy weren't straight in the braking zones, he could have been about a second ahead of us there. But with the braking zones, we are luckily able to stay closer to him. But yellow flags here down this straight. We're going to tell our engineer to box this lap. There's a slow car. It's yellow flags. I don't know what's happening here. The yellow flags seem to have cleared up. I don't know what's happening here. Sebastian Vettel leads the race. I don't know what he said. The yellow flags are back. Is that a slow car in front of us? Who is that in this race? It's Lewis Hamilton. And well, looks like it's going to crawl on the pits with a puncture in this race. Now we're now up into P4, and Sergio Perez, the car ahead of us, is in a podium place. Maybe we can potentially nick this podium. Move on to lap 7 here. Nico Rosberg is chasing us down in that Mercedes, but we are trying to make the move on Sergio Perez. I think his tires may be shot in this race. He's going to sneak up the inside of him there, but our tyres are also gone, and you can see that right with the fact we get no turn there. And now we've basically just got to hope Nico Rosberg is so far back to gain on us, but absolutely no, he's not, because we've got a McLaren Honda engine, and Nico Rosberg just, has a Mercedes engine. It's basically just drive past us, but we're actually going to send it back up the inside of both Nico Rosberg and Sergio Perez here. It is getting quite wet out here. We forced Perez out wide, so we are now up into P3, but I think this is going to be our calling to come in for some intermediate tyres now in this race. Not going into the gravel there, now we do come in for our stop. Our tyres are short and our tyres are cold, so I think it was about time for the intermediate tyres. If you can have a look there. I don't know if anyone saw that hairpin, but a little bit of water was kicking off our tyres, so I think it is time for us to put some intermediate tyres on in this race. Yet, there you go, the intermediate tyres are on this car. I mean, it's ahead of Perez in the pit lane. I think a lot of other drivers there are having the idea of us and coming in for some intermediate tyres. So yeah, here we go, out in this race in on lap 8 of our first stop. We are up into P8 here. As we now cut onto the hairpin. More yellow flags in this race. I don't know what's happening here. That's a slow car again. It's Kimi Raikkonen, and now he has a puncture. So that's another free position for us in this Grand Prix. We click onto lap 9 here. Every car now I think it's come on for a set of the intermediate tyres, and we are out in P2 as we are trying to send it down the inside of Nico Rosberg to turn 2, and then can we go around the outside at turn 3. This is for the race lead on genuinely. Oh my god, we've done it. Someone race like this race now. The McLaren Honda are leading this Grand Prix. I don't think that'll be for much longer though. Nico Rosberg goes down the inside. Even before that straight, this is how that's just how dominant that Mercedes car is. We're trying to hold it through on the gym, and I think DRS was still enabled, or if I can remember correctly. So I was trying to get DRS off him there. I don't know if it works. We can have a look now though as we go down this back straight here. Nico Rosberg, obviously having that Mercedes engine, will have the advantage anyway, and we do not have DRS. I don't know if he does. We'll have a look from his rear ring. Oh yes, he does. Well, that's the race lead gone. I enjoyed about the sector and a half we led that Grand Prix from. It was fun times, honestly, man. It was great times. Some of the best times of our time. Anyway, off my stupid impressions of politicians, and now on to trying to defend P3 from Sebastian Vettel here. He was charging us down in this race. I don't know if DRS was still enabled at this point. Well, but if he is, he's going to have the advantage here. Yep. We actually made a bit of contact there. He doesn't even have DRS open. It's just how shite this McLaren Honda engine is. I think I've said that about 3 times in this Grand Prix. We're going to try getting it off the run of that corner. No. And we are down into P3 in this race. But honestly, still a great result. Moving on to lap 14 here. Valtteri Bottas is now the next man who's going to try to chase down. He's coming into the pits though. I don't know what is it. That for a set of dry tyres in this race. It is looking a bit dry. It looks like it is drying up in this Grand Prix. I don't know if it is the right tyre. As a lap later, I think we figured out it was the right time for dry tyres in this Grand Prix. As we are now coming to the pit lane for a setup, I believe prime tyres it was. I just wanted to try and go, see if I could take these primes to the end of the race to try and secure a result here in China. As we now come into the pit lane, getting these wet intermediate tyres off. As now we get put on the primes. It's still splitting it down here. That's not enough rain for the intermediate tyres, and you can see we've pit a lap 2 late as Valtteri Bottas gets us and is up into P3. So there goes any podium hopes in this Grand Prix, unless this prime tyre strategy works. Moving on to lap 17 now, Felipe Massa is going to try over to Lakers. I mean, he has no competition really. He's just going to kind of just get going on past us. I don't. There's not much more to say. Oh, though, we're trying to stick it down the inside of Felipe Massa. We've actually pulled off the move. Fair play. Now it's all about, will he actually get past us with his Mercedes engine down into turn 4? The answer will most likely be yes. You see him going around the outside now. Maybe he can stick it back up the inside here. Going for the... We've actually turned it a bit too early there, and Massa's just going to get the run round the outside of us and is up into P5 in this race. So P4, sorry. We're down at P4. But moving on to lap 19 now. Lewis Hamilton in his Mercedes, as with the puncture, has already overtaken us back on pure pace. And we're going wide here into turn 1, and Max Verstappen is now up into P6. So this is, well, from a potential podium here in China, it's gone miserably wrong. Anyway, moving on to lap 21 here. There's a few cars actually coming in for another pit stop. Felipe Massa is one of them. I don't know, the other one is Valtteri Bottas, I believe, as you can see. We're actually going to too far ahead of him so you can actually see him. But we are back up into P4 in this race. Potentially another podium hopes back on. Anyway, moving now later on to lap 21 here. As I got on the curb, and I just thought I'd show that. So I think I just got blown up by a curb there. Not as bad, but I just went on the curb and just had a massive loss of grip. Yeah, I just think the curb chucked me out in this race. Moving on to lap 22 though, as Max Verstappen is in the pit lane, and now suddenly we find ourselves in P3 in this race. Is the podium back on here? Surely not. Moving on to lap 24, I'd be right there. Surely not, because Lewis Hamilton is going to get us in this. He's going to be trying to wrap up the inside. We actually had a legal overtake on him there. I tried to get a DRS on him, so maybe it might work that we can defend him off here. But no, we go wide. We go miles wide, and Massa's just probably going to get us now because he's got a Mercedes engine. He doesn't even need DRS. That is how depressing this car is. He has got us without DRS. Oh god, this car is utter shite, man. But anyway, I decided after this, we were P5. I wasn't really bothered about getting an extra 2 points of P5 over P6. I thought I'd rather enjoy the end of this race. Why not go in for a set of option tyres in this Grand Prix? So here we go. With about 4 laps to go into the pits, we must go E-I-E-I-E-I-O. We're going to be putting on a set of option tyres. Although, however, just send the minute up there. The car behind us is in. That is Max Verstappen, so it doesn't matter. We'll still actually probably keep P5 in this Grand Prix because Verstappen has stupidly pit. A free P5 was on the cards from there, but he's blown that away for some bizarre reasons. We now exit the pit lane There is our teammate Jensen, but he's doing it right alongside us. He will get us, and he is up into P5 here. So now we are trying to fight Jensen, but trying to overtake him with DRS down this long back straight here. This is the battle for 5th place. Somehow between two McLaren Hondas. I don't know how. Button went out in Q1, so I don't know how he's managed to find himself up in P5 in this race. But he won't be for P5 for much longer as we go down the inside here of Jensen Button. We've overcooked it there. We've outbraked ourselves, and Button, just almost got the run there to make the move stick there. Actually, make us not make the move stick, but get himself back up into P5 here. We will have DRS down here to the run into turn 1. What will happen here? Can we defend from Jensen here? Down the inside he goes. Maybe we can. We go wide though. Button has the run. We have the outside line. We'll turn to the inside for turn number 3 here. Now we go down the inside here. We don't let Button get the exit here, and we are still in P5 in this Grand Prix. Moving on to lap 27 here. Jensen Button is chasing us down. Is this going to be it for us, Jensen Button? He will get us down into turn 1. Maybe we can try stick one around the outside or up the inside here. Can we make the move stick? Now we had a look at it, but unfortunately just couldn't really actually materialise it into anything. But now we're moving on to the penultimate attempt at this straight. Jensen Button. We're going to get DRS on him here. We open up, giving us an extra little boost with less drag. I think it is, or down. It's something about that. Probably the thing's down for us. Anyway, now we go down the inside on Jensen Button, but absolutely fuck it up. And Button is back up into P5, but to me side by side into the final corner. Corner where you see really aim action, but Button just decided to go wide. And if you can see behind, if you can see there, he's basically successful to Danny Kvyat, and he is. So that's gone well there for Jensen, down into P7. Then coming through the final couple of corners now, Nico Rosberg has won this Grand Prix. He extends his World Championship lead for himself here, and for Mercedes Constructors lead. But coming through the final corner, we're going to take an amazing P5 from McLaren here. Austin is going to take home an extra 6 points for us by finishing 7th. What a race that was! And for once in his life, Fernando Alonso doesn't look utterly depressed by results, unlike he was in Malaysia. So yeah, pretty good success. We now will look at the race results. Nico Rosberg wins from Sebastian Vettel, and then Felipe Massa rounds up approach. Lewis Hamilton in 4th. A pretty impressive race for him, considering how he got a puncture and started 11th on the grid. We finished 5th. Button finished 18th, finished 7th from 18th. Verstappen actually 8th from 17th. The Red Bulls weren't actually. Ricardo wasn't able to recover anything. Daniel Kvyat gets 8 points, so a decent day for him here. But moving on to the drivers now, Nico Rosberg extends 3 points. We are actually up to 6th there here in now the championship, but then up to 11th. So a pretty good day. Aaron Boyce is still 2nd in the championship. It's actually been quite consistent this season. We now move on to the constructors. Mercedes lead by 44 points, followed by Williams. Somehow we've leapfrogged Red Bull and Force in here in this Grand Prix, so we now 4th, obviously Manor at the back there. So yeah, that has been this video. If you've enjoyed, then I'm glad you did, and I'll hopefully see you all for the next one. Goodbye.